Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I have another mystery solving vlog for you, whatever. First off, if you see my first reading vlog, I will link it here. I confused Holly Jackson with Holly Black. Because I said, oh, I still have The Cool Prince by Holly Jackson on my TV. No, it's Holly Black. Anyways, so that is, I just want to say, like, I even edited it into the description of the video. I know I messed up. Said Cypress by Agatha Christie. This is the 21st book in the Hercule Poirot series. I don't think you have to read them in order. And I said that in my vlog, which will go live after this video. I've read Agatha Christie before, and we read that in school. We had like one huge chunky book of collected Miss Marple stories, and then we had to pick one out and then read it and then give a summary and also an explanation, like why did this happen? Why did the murderer do this? Or why dissect the whole story? And I personally am not a big fan of Miss Marple. Maybe like there are, I think, 39 or so books in the Hercule Poirot series. If I like this, I might start the whole series, and I might start the Miss Marple series as well. Maybe. Like, I got this from the library, as you can see. They have a ton of Agatha Christie. I don't even know how many books they have. A lot. Basically, one whole shelf is just Agatha Christie. That's insane. But great. Like if you want a certain book, they probably have it. They probably do have it. Full of Agatha Christie, and then that is like in the sci-fi thriller section, and then you go to the other section, which has the German books, because this is the English version. They also have a ton of Agatha Christie. It's just, I'm sure they also have them in French. So if I want to read you know what I mean. Anyways, long story short, I've never read this before. My mom actually has this book in German, and it's called Morphium, so morphine. And I'm curious to see, like, how does that tie in? I'm going to read the back to you. Also for Hercule, this will count for my white cover. Then maybe for the ABC challenge, because, Cypress is a C, Christie is a C, so I might do a C. Beautiful young Eleanor Carlyle stood serenely in the dock, accused of the murder of Mary Gerard, her rival in love. The evidence was damning. Only Eleanor had the motive, the opportunity, and the means to administer the fatal poison. Yet, inside the hostile courtroom, only one man still presumed Eleanor was innocent until proven guilty. Hercule Poirot was all that stood between Eleanor and the gallows. That's it. And on page 36 right now, it goes very fast. There's an audiobook for it on YouTube, if free. I will link it down below if you want to. There also, I don't know if it's like a web series or if it's an actual movie, but you can also watch it if you like. Like I said, I'm on page 36, and it's going very, very quickly. So we have Eleanor, who is the main character, obviously, because she apparently killed Mary, and you have Eleanor, and then you have, oh my god, what's the name? Roddy, who is like, she's like, they're kind of related, but they're not related by blood. So they have one common person, that is Aunt Laura. Eleanor is Laura's brother's daughter, so she's niece by blood. Roddy is Laura's husband's nephew, not related by blood. However, they kind of wanted to get married, Laura and Roddy, and they want to, like, we want the money. Especially Roddy, he's just like, give me the money. We deserve it. Shut up. I don't like you. That's where I'm at right now. Laura, she's very sick. She had a stroke, and she has two nurses that come in and out and say, you know what, after the first stroke, you could probably have a second one and third one, and then, we'll be over very soon. Laura took on Mary. I'm kind of like a foster child, basically, and, Mary's also taking care of her. And Eleanor actually received a letter that said, I'm naming no names, but there's someone sucking up to your aunt, and if you're not careful, you get cut out of everything. The only one that could suck up to the grandma in Eleanor's and Roddy's eyes is Mary. Because, she's young and beautiful, and, she's taking care of Aunt Laura, and, always there. And Laura has taken a liking to her, obviously. Like I said, kind of like the foster child, and always there for her, and hyping her up and saying, you know what, if you want to get out of here, I'll help you. Yes, she has a motive, Eleanor, but so does Roddy. Although it's probably because he's not blood related, that he's not really in the will. He probably is, but he won't get the majority of it. So that's why they want to get married. And now a doctor comes in, Dr. Peter Lord. Dr. Lord. Eleanor and Peter, they met for the first time. Oh, hi, doctor. Like, can we talk after you have taken care of my aunt? Can we have a conversation? Sure. And then Laura asked, what do you think of my niece? And he said, she's very good looking, isn't she? And clever and all that, I should think. And now Laura wants to set them up to get married. I guess that Peter Lord will be in the love triangle, so between Mary, Peter, and Eleanor. But Peter will pick Mary. Or Peter will not pick anyone, but Eleanor's just so jealous of Mary that she's trying to kill her. If she's even the murderer. 46 pages in, right? It's not that much. What if it was actually one of the nurses? I don't know. We will see. I'm going to go read now and then I'll be back. You know, there's like part two. Part 2. That's when I'll be back. That's on page 113. So I'm going to read now. I'm excited. Like, I'm trying to solve the murder. I'm probably not as smart as Poirot, but I will try. I'm definitely try. I did not solve the murder and I'm not quite that yet. But I will solve this one. The thing is, I know, I watched Emma and the brother. I will link a channel here. You probably know who she is. I watched them trying to solve Agatha Christie murderers. There's always one plot twist at the end, and usually it's one that makes absolutely no freaking sense whatsoever. At the end, it was probably the dog who killed her, or she got ran over by a train or something. It's nothing to do with Eleanor. I am now on page 80, I think. I'm not fully done with the chapter. I have like one page left to go, but look how much has happened. Now I get it, you know, it is a very short, well, not very short, but it's a rather short book, only 282 pages, I think. Things need to happen, right? And obviously all at once. So what I've written down is that Mary is quite a phenomenon, right? You have people stare at her, male and female, and think, oh wow, that's the most beautiful woman you've ever seen, basically being starstruck. And so is Roddy. He sees her for the first time and he's like, oh my god, that's the most beautiful woman I've ever seen, and I want to be with her, and she's amazing, blah blah. Guess who doesn't like that? Eleanor. I mean, would you like that if your partner or your almost fiance, whatever, would say that about someone else? And then you had Ted, which was just essentially a main character this far, but I think he has like a crush on her and she's rejecting him, so he could also be a potential murderer. There are a lot of people that don't really like her because she's too beautiful, because she's too close to Laura, because people heard Laura say that, you know, she wants Mary to have a good amount of money whenever Laura passes away. Nobody is really innocent, in my opinion. Then Laura had a second stroke that night after they went to visit her. She was able to talk. Like, she was, you know, when you have a stroke, you're often paralyzed on one side, and she was still able to make up a few words and talk to Eleanor, and that she wants to call up lawyer Mr. Seddon, so that Mary also gets a good, you know, like her fair share. However, Laura dies. In her sleep, she's gone, and there is no will. So guess who's the only heir to everything that she owns? Eleanor. Roddy does not get anything because, as I said in the previous clip, he's not related by blood, which Eleanor thinks is very unfair because, you know, it's still family and it's like her husband's nephew. And when her husband died, all the money that went to Laura should have also gone to Roddy afterwards. So it should have gone from husband to wife and then from wife to nephew. You know what I mean? He doesn't get anything. As if that was not bad enough, he also like Eleanor and Roddy, they kind of have an argument going on, you know, like, do you love me? Do you love me not? Do you want to get married? Do you not want to get married? What the hell is going on? Turns out that, like I said, Roddy is head over heels for Mary, and they're not getting married now, Eleanor and Roddy. However, Eleanor also told Roddy, hey, you're free right now, you're not dating anyone, so please go on a 3-month vacation, clear your head, maybe see if that is nothing but a crush that you have going on with Mary right now, and then when you come back and you're still in love with her, marry her. I finally know why the German book is called Morphium. So morphine. Like I said, Laura had 2 nurses, and one of them had a what is it, like satchel? No, what is it called? She had a little attaché case, and there was morphine in because Eliza Rakin, she's got to have double injections night and morning, morphine. And guess what was missing out of her bag? A dose of morphine. Yes, that is why the German book is called the Morphium, and this is probably, like, I'm not saying anything, but maybe Aunt Laura did not die of natural causes. Maybe the stroke was not fatal. Maybe, I don't know. I feel like it could be Roddy, because, you know, like, he's very money obsessed when he wants to have, you know, his inheritance. What if he killed her thinking that, oh, when she dies, Eleanor and I will get all the money, and then we can live happily ever after. But, you know, he didn't know that he was not in the will. So that kind of makes sense that he would kill, like, you know what I mean? But then again, Eleanor could have killed her because she's jealous of Mary and, you know, all the affection that Mary gets. Maybe it was one of the nurses who thought, if she dies, maybe I'm in the will. Maybe it was Mary herself. I don't have no idea. Eleanor said one very particular sentence, and it was, if Mary wasn't there. If Mary wasn't there, I would have married you. If Mary wasn't there. I mean, so far, it is still before the trial, so, you know, that Aunt Laura died, and then Mary will probably die too in this part, because part 2 is over here. I still have 30 pages to go, so maybe part 3 is the trial where Monsieur Poirot finally comes in, and I will have him solve the case. So far, I have no idea who it could be. Like, I said that oftentimes with Agatha Christie mysteries, the plot twist is so absolutely batshit insane that it makes absolutely no sense. It could have very well been the doctor. The doctor who kind of had his eyes on Eleanor and then thought, if I kill her and Eleanor gets all the money and I marry her, I will be rich. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just not, like, I'm taking in all the possibilities because I've read a lot of crime books and a lot of psycho thrillers. You need to be open-minded. It could be anyone. It's just, I want to give this up because I wrote down so many notes for, like, what, 50 pages. So, let's continue. Okay, I'm like almost at the second part, and I'm going to give you my theories right now. So, I think that Mary is Laura's actual child. Why? She had a picture of a guy in a secret place called Louis, and it turns out that different people knew who Louis was, and yes, they were friends, but also a bit more. Apparently, they never were officially more because Louis was married and his wife was in the mental asylum. So my guess is Mary is their child, given the fact that they were not married and he was married to someone else. Maybe Laura gave Mary to her new parents and they kind of adopted her and took her in because Mary's father actually died now, passed away, and before he died, people always like wrote it off as, oh, he's getting old and he's sick and whatever, but he said that, oh, you are not my child, you are not my daughter, blah, blah. I'm just saying, Mary is probably Laura's daughter, and that's why Laura wanted her to have money, or like inherit at least a good chunk of the money. And now Mary is cleaning out her father's and her parents' place, and she found a marriage certificate which dated 1 year after Mary was born. The morphine was missing, so who? Like, Mary did not know that probably, but her father did. I have no idea. I'm curious to see. I swear to God, if it is someone stupid, like if it's like the mailman who killed them, I will yell. I will. No, but I'm going to continue now because I feel like, like I'm getting close to the point where Mary is killed, because I guess that the second part is the trial, and finally Hercule Poirot coming in, which is after 100 pages, and the book is only 282 pages long. We are now at the point where Hercule Poirot is interrogating people, and I was right. Mary was not her father's daughter, basically, like she was Laura's daughter. With Louis, I knew it. I'm so curious to see who killed her. I just finished the book and have some marks in here. Right, so guess who killed Mary? Nurse Hopkins. What the hell? What the actual hell? Like, once Poirot came in and he, once he interviewed people and asked questions, I was like, where the hell is this leading to? Like, none of that makes sense, right? But the further you go in the story, the more it makes sense. And the plot twist is that Nurse Hopkins, Jessie Hopkins, is not Jessie Hopkins. Her actual name is Mary Riley or Mary Draper. Now, I don't know if I told you that, but once Aunt Laura died, Mary, the one that died, was so shocked and so overwhelmed, and that Laura did not have a will written and all. She wrote a will as well, just in case, people, like, I must have always said that too, I still have time, like, I don't need to write a will. I'm still young, blah blah. But Mary, she was like, okay, maybe I should write a will. You never know how fast life or how quick life is over. She gave it all to her aunt, her mother's sister, who she also has a name from, Mary Riley. And like I said, Mary Riley is Nurse Hopkins. I did not see that go. I said it could be anyone. It could even be the nurse or the gardener. There was a gardener in here as well, and he gave a very good lead, because Nurse Hopkins, she had like an injury, and she said, "Oh, it's from the rose bushes outside." Turns out those bushes do not have thorns. Thorns. What the hell? What the hell? So it was all planned by Nurse Mary to kill the other Mary to get money, because Mary, that one, is the illegitimate child of Laura, and Nurse Hopkins, she tried to blackmail her, but it didn't work. So she figured, if Laura gives all the money to that Mary, and then Mary wrote a will giving the money to Mary Riley, which is Nurse Hopkins, she will get all the money. What? When Poirot interviewed Nurse Hopkins, she gave him a letter saying that it was supposed to be given to Mary after my death, and at first he thought that was from her father, that Mary's father, to that Mary. No, it was for Mary to be sent to her after my death, but the gist of the contents made it perfectly plain that Mary Gerard was not to know the truth. Also, the word sent, not given, on the envelope was illuminating, because Mary Riley is from New Zealand, and apparently they say sent and not given. I'm English sound. It was not Mary Gerard to whom the letter was written, but another Mary. It was her sister, Mary Riley, in New Zealand, that Eliza Riley wrote the truth. Wow, I liked it. It's not the best book I've ever seen or ever read, but a solid 3.5. 3.75. If I would give 0.75, 3.5. Let's just say, because I was expecting more of Hercule Poirot. You know what I mean? This is, I think, the 21st or 22nd book in the series. Maybe the other books have more of him, but I enjoyed this, and I knew from the get-go that Mary was Laura's child. I just knew it. There's just no other way. It had to be. So I finished this. I'm excited. Let me know if you read this book and if you actually found out who the murderer was, because I didn't. Cypress are those are trees, right? Cypress. In German, like I said, it's called morphium, so morphine, and I would have made a much better title in English. There are a lot of Agatha Christie books. This is the first one that I've fully read. Like I said, I had the Miss Marple stories, so it was not like a whole book. But anyways, long story short, I enjoyed this, and when I get back to the library, I will probably get another one of those, just to see if I can solve another murder. Of course it is a nurse. Of course the nurse had another name, and she came all the way from New Zealand. Well, I feel like a lot of people, at least from people I've seen, people rarely give 5 stars to Hercule Poirot or Miss Marple books. Like I said, it was 3.5 for me. It was not bad, but it was not the best book ever. So, yeah, I'm happy I read it, and I want more. My mom has the book, like I said, so I don't have to purchase it. I would like to have a whole Agatha Christie collection. That would be nice. That's another thing to collect. Right, it's not like I'm collecting BTS albums, it's not like I'm collecting perfume or BTS photocopies. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe to my channel if not already. And that's the next one, which might be another murder mystery, or it might be the August release, or I have no idea what it will be. But, oh no, actually it will be the the third or fourth update for Hooked. So I see you in the next video.